Good luck with that.
Now, figures out today show 95% of teenagers don't eat enough vegetables. That's not going to surprise any parents,
nope,
is it? With obesity on the rise, though, of course, it is very serious, and ITV is joining forces with leading supermarkets to help parents in their daily battle to get kids to eat more veg.
It shows the battle that lots of people at home will experience. More than half of parents say they have to nag their children to eat all their greens. So the Eat Them to Defeat Them campaign turns traditional food adverts on their head, and it's going to premiere during Coronation Street tonight. But we have a very sneaky preview.
They come from deep underground. Their plan? To take over the world. For years, the grown-ups have been keeping the veg invasion at bay. But they can't do it alone. They need your help, kids.
You're going down, Peas. I'm helping to defeat them.
Join the fight. Eat them to defeat them.
Wow. Well, a Q Fernley Whittingstall, who's also supporting the campaign, joins us now. It's very different, isn't it? For years, we've been trying to tell our children food is good for you. There have been all sorts of shows. We were talking about Lazy Town, where they called fruit and veg sports candy to make it more appealing. And this is going to the opposite extreme. It's saying vegetables are evil. They're attacking you and your parents. You've got to battle them.
You've got to eat them to defeat them. I mean, it's subversive, it's edgy, it's cheeky, and that's why we think it's going to be fantastically successful. It's going to get kids' attention. It's going to get them engaged with veg in a way that they find fun, and that's what's so
undoubtedly. When we heard about the idea, we were talking about it before I saw the advert, and we were very sort of like, we're not sure about this. And when I saw the advert, the whole advert is just brilliant, and I showed it to my wife, I showed it to my boys who are 12 and 13, and they loved it as well.
Yeah, the 60-second version, which will premiere tonight on Coronation Street, is like a mini movie. It's really exciting.
It's like a crazy B movie, isn't it? From sort of the 60s and 70s, when the Blob or something like that, but with vegetables. I'd imagine you, when the ad agency that came up with this pitched this idea, amongst other ideas, was it the most out there idea?
It was, and I was a little anxious, but very, very excited. But just determined that we make this happen is actually incredibly important. You know, our kids are actually bombarded with a tidal wave daily of junk food advertising. Less than 2% of all advertising goes on healthy, fresh fruit and vegetables. So we've got to turn things around and have something exciting and creative coming the other way. And I think that's what we've captured here.
And I suppose the reason for that is because there are brands that make the other sorts of foods that think it's worth spending the money to get people to eat it. But until now, there hasn't been this force collectively to get people to eat veg.
That's right. And vegetables aren't often represented by big brand names. But we've created an outfit called Veg Power, which is behind this advert. We're getting amazing support, obviously, from ITV and the supermarkets who finance the campaign. Chefs like my friend Jamie Oliver are supporting us big time. Big social media push today. Anyone who wants to get involved, please use the hashtag Eat Them to Defeat Them. Attach your favourite veg recipes. Tell your friends. Get involved. All sorts going on the website to download as well. So.
And what about in your restaurants and in all of that? Do you have tricks to make even grown-ups eat vegetables?
Well, yes. Make them delicious. You know, this is the key. I mean, our restaurants are now more than half veg, and I love putting the veg out there. And you've got to use you've got to it's not just having a kind of boring bit of boiled veg on the side. Roast it and toast it and caramelize it a bit and use some spices. And there are lots of recipes as part of the Veg Power Eat Them to Defeat Them campaign online. And lots of chefs today are going to be tweeting their favourite veg recipes.
Hugh, are you confident that we can turn this tide? Because this obesity tide just seems to, the tidal wave seems to get bigger and bigger and bigger, despite what everybody's trying to do. And this is the latest and a really innovative, exciting campaign, I think. Do you have that sort of belief and hope? I'm not just a hope sort of thing, but the confidence.
I've got a lot of hope. Things like this give me even more hope. This ad, brilliant as I think it is, it's not going to do it on its own. The government has announced its intention, its determination to halve childhood obesity by 2030. That is a bold ambition, but it's only 11 years away, and that's a massive undertaking. They do recognise many of the levers that need to be pulled, things like all the temptation at the till, all those big piles of confectionery that parents have to battle through this, and that's another fight that
Yes.
parents have to engage in on a daily basis. Food labelling that doesn't really make it clear what healthy foods are and what the best choices are. Education in schools. We need to raise a generation now that properly understand what healthy food is.
Yeah.
And fresh vegetables need to be absolutely at the centre of that. If we don't persuade our kids to eat more veg, their health is going to suffer, just as our generations has been suffering. But we just don't want it to get worse. We need to turn it around.
We need to eat them to defeat them.
We
That's what
do.
we need to do.
We will do.
Exactly what
So
we need
great
to
to
do.
chat to you, Hugh. Thanks very much indeed.
Let's get one last look at the weather. Here's Laura.